What if the seeds of genius could be spotted before a child can even speak? Is it in the way they look at you, the first sound they make, or something much deeper? You've probably noticed your baby doing something incredible that made you wonder.
It's a thought that crosses the mind of almost every loving parent. But in a world full of parenting myths, what's real and what's just wishful thinking?
In this video, we're not just listing traits, we're decoding the psychology behind them.
We will separate the proven science from the popular fiction.
And we'll reveal what the real signs psychologists look for actually are. The internet is overflowing with checklists for genius babies, but the honest truth is that most of them are deeply misleading. They often mistake normal, healthy development for something extraordinary, creating confusion and anxiety. Today, we're cutting through that noise to dive into what developmental psychology actually tells us. It's completely natural to be curious about your child's potential because it shows how much you care. Our journey together today will be a clear one. First, we will shatter the biggest myths to create a clean slate. Then, we will cover the key areas of early high cognition that are backed by research. And finally, I'll give you a simple framework you can use today to nurture potential in any child. But first, to find the truth, we have to clear away the myths. Let's talk about what is not a sign of genius. You've probably heard this one. A baby who stares intently at a book must be a budding intellectual. While it's a lovely thought, what you're likely seeing is the development of visual tracking. Babies are drawn to high-contrast images, like the black and white text on a page. Their eyes and brain are simply learning to focus, lock on, and follow. This is a critical milestone for every single baby. Another common myth is the baby who repeats a sound very early. Parents might hear mama or dada and believe their child is already talking with intent. In reality, this is a beautiful display of auditory mimicry. Babies' brains are wired to copy the sounds they hear most often. It's the very first step in language acquisition, a universal process for all humans. So when you see these things, you are witnessing the miracle of a brain coming online. That is not a sign of genius, but a sign of a healthy, developing brain. And that is even better. It means the foundational wiring is being laid perfectly for all future learning. Understanding this distinction is crucial because it allows us to appreciate the real journey. So if you've seen these, it doesn't mean your baby isn't smart. It means they are developing perfectly. Now let's build on that and look at the next level. Now that we've cleared that up, let's get to the reason you clicked, the true cognitive markers. The first major sign developmental psychologists note is intense, prolonged focus. We're not talking about a fleeting glance, but an almost unwavering concentration on a new object, face, or process. This demonstrates an early, powerful ability to control their own attention. Attention control is a cornerstone of all higher-level thinking, from learning in a classroom to solving complex problems as an adult. It's not about what they see, it's about how long they choose to look. A longer gaze implies deeper cognitive processing, as the brain is working harder to understand what it is seeing. The second key marker is early pattern recognition. Human intelligence is fundamentally about identifying patterns and predicting what comes next. In a baby, this might look like them getting excited before you even start the game of peekaboo. They see you hide your face, and their brain correctly predicts the fun peek that's about to happen. They've recognized the sequence of events after only a few repetitions. This ability to learn sequences quickly is a powerful indicator of processing efficiency. It means their brain is quickly building a mental map of their world. The third sign is rapid, non-obvious problem solving. Many babies will cry when a toy is out of reach, which is a very effective solution. But a baby showing this particular trait might try something different. They might pull the blanket the toy is resting on or use another object to nudge it closer. This shows they understand cause and effect on a more abstract level. They're not just reacting, they are experimenting and executing a multi-step plan. But cognitive skill is only half the picture. The truly profound signs that many people miss are often emotional and social. This brings us to our fourth sign, unusual emotional sensitivity. This might be a baby who seems to acutely sense a parent's stress and becomes fussy. Or they might visibly relax and coo during a piece of calming classical music. This is not just about moodiness, but about a heightened receptivity to environmental cues. These children are processing the emotional data in their world just as intensely as the physical data. It can be an early indicator of high empathy and what we now call emotional intelligence. Our fifth and final sign is an advanced sense of humor. Yes, babies can have a sense of humor, and it's deeply tied to intelligence. Humor often relies on understanding a rule and then delighting in its violation. Think about a baby who laughs when you make a silly, unexpected sound instead of the usual one. They are not just reacting to a noise, they are laughing because their expectation was broken in a funny way. This demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of cause and effect and social routines. These cognitive and emotional markers are fascinating to observe. If you're the kind of person who is fascinated by the hidden workings of the mind, consider subscribing. We go deep on topics like this every week. But here's the most important question. Does labeling a baby gifted actually help them? Research overwhelmingly suggests that the label itself is far less important than the environment we create. This is where we move from just spotting signs to actively nurturing potential. Think of innate ability as the seed, and the home environment as the soil, water, and sun. A great seed in poor soil won't thrive, but an average seed in rich soil can grow into something magnificent. Developmental psychologists call this concept scaffolding. It means providing just enough support to help a child take the next step on their own. A responsive, interactive environment acts as a catalyst for cognitive development in every child. A baby in a passive environment, perhaps sitting in front of a screen, is receiving information but not interacting. But a baby in a responsive environment, being talked to and played with, is actively building their brain. Every time you respond to a babble, you're teaching the turn-taking of conversation. Every time you narrate what you're doing, you're building a rich web of vocabulary. A stimulating environment can truly elevate any child. This is because the brain's plasticity in these early years is absolutely incredible. The experiences a child has directly shape the physical structure of their developing brain. So remember that the best fertilizer for a developing brain is not flashcards, it is conversation. So how do we take all this theory and make it practical in our busy lives? Here is a simple, memorable framework for nurturing curiosity I call the ACE method. A stands for ask, what if? Model curiosity by playing with possibilities, even with simple blocks, by asking, what if we put the blue one on top? C stands for connect and narrate. Talk through your daily activities. connecting words to objects and actions, building a rich world of language. This is the bread I am slicing for our sandwiches, and it feels soft. And E stands for encourage exploration. Create a safe space where your child can touch, investigate, and even make small messes. This hands-on interaction is how their brain makes and strengthens crucial connections. The A.C.E Framework isn't about creating a genius, it's about creating a curious and confident learner. So let's bring it all together. We've seen that true markers of high cognition aren't myths, but observable behaviors like prolonged focus, pattern recognition, and early humor. We started this video asking if you could spot the seeds of genius before a child can speak. And while there's no crystal ball, we've discovered something far more powerful. The real magic isn't in the label you might give a child, it's in the connection you build with them. It's in the shared smiles, the patient explanations, and the nurturing environment you create every single day. Because the goal isn't to raise a genius, the goal is to raise a great human, curious, resilient, kind, and happy. And that is a power every single parent holds in their hands. If this video sparked your curiosity, show your support with a like and share your biggest takeaway in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want to see how these traits evolve over time, check out our deep dive into the psychology of gifted teenagers, linked right here on the screen.